Am I audible to everyone? Guys, reply me fast. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Your today's schedule is getting ended by what time? Regular schedule, regular classes.
150, sir.
1:50. Your today's
Yes,
schedule
sir.
will be ending by 1:55, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Fine. So, what is your lunch time in the college?
12 to 2:30.
How much? 12,
12:30.
12 to
12:30 to
12:30.
2:30. 2:30.
12:30 to 2:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
After class, we go to lunch.
After class, you go to lunch. Okay. So generally, I guess somewhat between 2 to 2:30, you people may be taking your lunch, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, please participate in the discussion because if timings are not going to match, then you will have to lose one extra class, okay? Which is quite important. So I'm assuming that 2 to 2:30, everybody will be going to lunch, okay? Maximum by 3 o'clock, you people should be free again. So by 3 o'clock today, we will take another class, okay? That will be an extra class that can be a class from 1 to 1.5 hours, okay? So rest of the things we are going to cover, we since we have missed the morning class, so we are going to cover further things into that 2 to like 3 to 4 class. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
I need this answer from all other students also. I'm expecting sir would be able to cover the syllabus of midsem 2 before. Of course, yes, don't worry for that. Not much of the things are remaining. Whatever the units you are seeing in the syllabus, those are very small units. Okay, don't worry about it. So let's start. Okay, it rather it depends on you. If you people start responding me quickly, then things can be done very fast. And if you people don't respond quickly, if you make me to wait for your answers, then obviously it will take time. Okay, it's like that. So that but still we are going to try our level best to finish everything. Okay, but as if now let's start the class. Okay, make sure everybody to be present by 3 o'clock. At sharp 3 o'clock we will be starting our next class, and the link will be the class link will be the link which is of 7:30. Okay, on that link I will be giving you that class, and for the safety point of view, so that everybody should be able to take that link, I will simply post that link onto the Telegram group. Okay, so that if somebody misses, if somebody don't know about the link, you can access it from the Telegram. Fine. Now sharing my screen. Everybody, please check. Is my screen visible to everyone now?
Yes, sir.
How much we have done? We have done with creation of grammar. Everybody have attempted these questions or not? If there's any doubt in these questions, you can ask me. Is there any doubt in these questions?
Sir, can you explain the last question once again?
Even number of a's
Yes, sir.
over a comma b. Fine. So one simple thing is there. Whenever you want to present some a, so it should come together, right? So even number of a's can come how? Whenever you are generating a, so it should be two a's together. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So for B, you can have anything. Like number of B is not restricted. Okay. So what you can say, you can bind A with, let us say, a capital letter A, and you can bind B with a capital letter B, for example. Got it? So
Yes, sir.
either A can come before or B can also come before. So it can be either AB or BA. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now B should be repeated how? Just like B star, isn't it? B should be repeated in B star. So I should not restrict any quantity. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So B can be repeated in simple terms, B star. But whenever A is getting repeated, so it should be repeated with double. That means like this. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Pardon?
Got it, sir. Got it.
Got it? So, but it's like just this is the initial idea. Few more corrections will be required. Okay. I've given you this initial idea so that if you are not even getting that how to start, so that you can start. But something what you have to correct in this. Let me tell you what you have to correct. For example, if I have two A's, but at a different at a distance. So you see that will be a little difficult from this place. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
That will be little difficult from this place. One A is coming here, one A is coming here. So here also even number of A's are there. Okay. So you also have to manage this. So here I have given the initial idea. Rest you work out. If you don't get it, again I can discuss in the next class. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
but
sir.
try your level best to cover up this. Why I'm asking you is to try it yourself, because if you will not try it yourself, the problem will be that you will not be able to get the questions which will be coming in the exams. That will be a difficult thing for you. Okay, fine. So let's begin now. Now we have to go for the next concept, which is types of grammar. So how to create grammar, that's what we have understood. Okay. Next we are looking for types of grammar. So basically for this, we have a hierarchy with us that's called Chomsky hierarchy. Chomsky was a scientist who has discovered different types of grammars. So the first grammar is called to be unrestricted grammar. Unrestricted grammar. Okay. Next grammar is context sensitive grammar. Next grammar is context free grammar. And the last one is regular grammar. So how these types are evolved, let me tell you this. Basically what happened, scientists have observed that there are few productions which may be useless or which are not pretty good at their places because there are some redundancies. For example, let us say that if I am giving this thing, first of all, you should be taking care that a terminal should not be allowed to generate anything else. Got it? So if you are writing anything, something like this or this is something incorrect. This should not happen at all because terminals are not someone who generates the things. Terminals are someone who gets generated from other non-terminals. Okay. Apart from that, what else can be there? Suppose if the purpose of non-terminal is what? To expand the string, right? The purpose of non-terminal is to expand the string. We have understood before because A star S, you see S drive A S we have discovered, right? What was the purpose of this non-terminal? So that A can be repeated so many number of times. So ultimately, we are looking for expansion of string. Length of string should increase with the help of non-terminals. But in case if you are doing something like this, that ABC is generating, let's say CD. So what is happening? In spite of expanding, in fact, you are contracting. So contraction is there. This is also not a good thing. Apart from that, one more thing. For example, if AB is deriving CD, let's say this one. Now, contraction is not there. But the point is that only A, is it, is it not enough to derive this? Answer is yes, of course, yes. Only A is also enough to derive all that stuff. Then why you need B extra? So scientists have found that there is one more problem, that I should not have more than one variable at the left hand side. So again, they found that this is not good. So what happened, that with the course of time, they keep on evaluating the grammar. Grammar has keep on evolved. So with the course of time, people kept on find out, different people kept on found that there are certain problems in the existing types of productions. So with the course of time, what happened? Initially, everything was allowed. Then what happened? Some scientists have found that this thing, what you are writing, this is not correct. So they said that avoid writing these things, and they have designed a new grammar, which is context sensitive grammar. With the course of time, again, some more people found that even the context, even there are some problems with the context sensitive grammar. So the productions which you are allowing, that you should not allow. So they have removed those productions, and they have developed one more type of grammar, that is context free grammar. So in these types of grammars, that's what we are going to study, that what are the restrictions and on what type of grammar those restrictions are applied. Okay, so I'm starting with the first grammar, that is also called type 0 grammar. This is unrestricted grammar. Okay, in fact, let me borrow some slides from the other PPTs, so that we don't have to waste our time in writing all this stuff. I'm just copying these slides so that we don't have to write these things, and you can get this material automatically. Now what we are studying, we are just simply studying that what type of restrictions are being put in which type of grammar. Okay, that's what we are studying. What I have copied, a regular grammar I have copied. Okay, fine. Now, as I've told you, that different types of restrictions have kept on being imposed over the different types of grammar. So the first grammar is unrestricted grammar, which is type 0 grammar. Can everybody write something? Take your pen and take your notebook, and I'm asking you something, just write it. I'm giving 30 seconds to everyone to take your pen and take your paper and write something. Make it fast. Bring your pen and paper, or bring your. Is everybody sitting with the pen and notebook?
Yes, sir.
Good. So write
Yes, sir.
something. I'm dictating something, you have to write it. A grammar, a grammar G is equal to VNVTPS. For your help, I have written this statement. G is equal to VNVTPS. A grammar G is equal to VNVTPS is called to be type 0 grammar or unrestricted grammar. Any word you can write. If and only if all of its productions, if and only if all of its productions are of the form, all of its productions are of the form alpha derives beta, all of the productions are of the form alpha derives beta, where alpha and beta are arbitrary string of symbols. Alpha and beta are arbitrary string of symbols with alpha not equals to null. With alpha not equals to null. Everybody have written this?
Yes, sir.
Guys, response me fast. Everybody have written this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So this is the type of grammar, right? Type 0 says what? Type 0 is unrestricted. It does not put any restriction. It just say one thing, or you can say that it is the first grammar, or in other words, you can also understand it like this, that it was the first time when grammar was invented. So the first grammar which was invented, that was like unrestricted, and unrestricted grammar has just said that null is not able to derive anything, everything else is accepted. Got it? But as I told you that there are few problems with accepting everything. What are those problems? I have just explained you: expansion, contraction, all these things, right? So that's why a new grammar was discovered. So again, you have to repeat the same language, that a grammar G is equal to VNVT PS. A grammar G is equal to VNVTPS is called to be, understand this thing, you can write it afterwards, okay? So a grammar G is equal to VNVTPS is called to be context sensitive grammar if and only if all the productions are of the type alpha derives beta. The same language what you have written just now, the same language is there, that's why I'm taking it fast, okay? Alpha drives beta where alpha is less than equals to beta. So just now I have explained you about the contraction, right? That contraction should not be there. So contraction should not be there. That thing is being implemented in context sensitive grammar. Got the point, everyone?
So once again, please. Alpha is less than equals to beta.
Alpha less than equals to beta does mean what? That we are ensuring that the length of left hand side will never be greater than right hand side. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's what contraction is. Are you getting that? कॉन्ट्रैक्शन का मतलब क्या हुआ? लेफ्ट साइड में जो भी रहे वो छोटा रहे, है ना? नेक्स्ट,
Yes, sir.
Next, context free grammar. Again, that same language. G is equal to, like every grammar, G is equal to VNVTPS is called to be a context free grammar if and only if it has all the productions of type alpha derives beta, where restrictions are written over there. Alpha is equal to one non-terminal, beta is equal to any string. Got it, everyone? Guys, reply fast. Otherwise, I'll not be able to cover the syllabus. Give me a quick reply. Everybody has got it, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So same language you have to repeat. Okay. Next, regular grammar. What is regular grammar? Again, the same language, but here what is that? Alpha derives beta, where alpha is one non-terminal. This restriction is being put over here itself. So alpha is just one non-terminal. Beta can be either AX or only A, where A is a single terminal and X is a single non-terminal. This is the restriction what we put over the regular grammar. Clear to everyone? And the types of and this Chomsky hierarchy says what? That regular grammar is a subset of, like I should say, set of all regular grammars. Set of all regular grammars, or let me write it more properly. It simply says that I'm saying R, where R is what? Set of all regular grammars. Don't look at the spellings, okay? This is R. Is the subset of CF, where CF is what? Set of all context free grammars. Is the subset of CS, obviously, where CS is what? Set of all context sensitive grammars. Is the subset of unrestricted, which is U, where U is what? Obviously, the set of all unrestricted grammars. So this is the way of Chomsky hierarchy. And why it is so? Obviously, because where you are putting more restrictions on the regular grammar, no, as compared to context free grammar. And context free grammar is even more restricted as compared to this grammar. That's hierarchy, it's there. So what is the situation? Probably a huge number of production rules is allowed here, but they are not allowed here. Comparatively to this, less number of production rules are allowed here. So what is the thing? That until as you are getting downward in the hierarchy, as you are getting downward in the hierarchy, so restrictions are being increased. Therefore, the number of productions will also be decreasing. Are you getting this, everyone? Restrictions will increase, therefore the number of productions will decrease. So automatically the number of productions what we are having here becomes a subset of this place, it becomes a subset of this place, and it becomes a subset of this place. Is that clear to everyone? Guys, give me a quick response, otherwise
Yes, sir.
again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I hope everybody must be clear with this thing. Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. So that is what all about the types of grammars. Fine. Take a time of 2 minutes. If you want to create notes for this, you can create. I'm putting myself on mute. Okay, just take 2 minutes. 10:09 it is. By 10:11 you should be completing with the notes. And if you want me to forward the slides, you can tell me, I can forward it. But only 2 minutes for the notes. Okay, make it fast.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर ये हमारा कॉन्टेक्स्ट फ्री ग्रामर और रेगुलर ग्रामर में डिफरेंस क्या है सर? क्योंकि अल्फा टेंस टू बीटा होगा तो बीटा कुछ भी हो सकता है ना कॉन्टेक्स्ट फ्री ग्रामर में।
बेटा डिफरेंस हुआ ना, लेकिन रेगुलर में तो बीटा कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता ना। देखो, कॉन्टेक्स्ट फ्री में बीटा कुछ भी हो सकता है,
जी
बट
जी।
रेगुलर में बीटा कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता। रेगुलर में बीटा को यही होना होगा जो यहाँ लिखा हुआ है।
तो कंपलसरी ए एक्स और सिर्फ एक्स होना चाहिए, मतलब एक
ऑब्वियसली
टर्मिनल।
ऑब्वियसली एक
एक
टर्मिनल और
टर्मिनल।
एक नॉन टर्मिनल ही होना चाहिए, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता।
अच्छा सर, ओके। थैंक यू
ठीक
सर।
है।
ओके।
If anybody else is also having doubts, you can ask me. First, make your notes for these 2 minutes and then ask your doubts. All your doubts will be welcome. Okay. Done with the notes? You'll get this PPT, so you don't have to worry much about the notes. That's not going to be a problem. Okay. So this is what the types of grammars. Okay. So different types of questions can come, right? A question can be asked, a production can be given to you, and you may be asked that identify that which type of production it is. Either it is unrestricted grammar, or it is context free grammar, or it is context sensitive grammar. So these type of productions can be asked to you. Okay, fine. So now moving to the different set of studies. Now we are moving to the types of languages. Okay, we are moving to the types of languages. So just like we have types of grammars, like that we also have types of languages. Let me explain you. Again, we will be borrowing some slides from the other classes. I don't know why they are not getting shifted. I'm taking these slides from other classes so that we don't have to write anything. Now look at this. We have the types of languages. Okay. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Loud
sir.
and clear.
Okay. So we have types of languages. Okay. These are the following types of languages. We have a regular language. We have DCFLs. We have CFLs. We have CSL, recursive and recursively enumerable. Okay. Now what you have to learn is regular, like we are starting with the regular language. So you have to remember these points, what I have written you. Okay. I'm explaining them once, then I'll give you a time of 4 to 5 minutes. You have to remember these points, and then we will take some examples of these types of languages. Okay, where you will have to identify the particular language that to which portion it belongs to. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So the first thing is regular language. Okay, the first thing is regular language. Remember one thing: if a language is finite, okay, if a language is finite, then there is no more discussion of anything on that language. Just right on the spot you can say that yes, that language is regular language. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So finiteness directly implies regular. Okay, but it does not mean that infiniteness implies irregular. It's never been like this. If a language is finite, I can say directly that yes, it is regular. But if a language is not a finite language, then I cannot directly say that it is not regular. In that case, I have to check it. Okay. So what you have to check? You have to check that there should not be any comparison. Now, what is comparison? You don't be bother about it. I will explain you that what is this comparison thing, how it is compared, where it is compared, that I will discuss with you. Okay, but as of now you just have to remember one thing. What you have to remember, that there should not be any comparison. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
neither any internal comparison nor any external comparison, nor any linear comparison nor any non-linear comparison. Now I know that you are not clear about these things, that what is non-linear comparison, what is linear comparison. So you don't have to worry about it. Clear? Next is DCFL. Okay. In fact, I just want you to do one thing. Before I start doing this, first you people please note down everything. Okay. And at every 2 minutes, I will forward this slide. Okay. Because just right now itself, we will be doing some questions. And for those questions, it is mandatory for you that you should be having these things in writing with yourself. Because I know that at this much pace you cannot learn everything. Okay, so I'm putting myself on mute. First write down the first slide from the regular language. Okay, write it fast. Everybody please write this regular, DCFL, CFL, everything from this slide. Come on, be fast.
Done, sir.
Write this one.
Sir, can you please remove the notification?
Done, sir.
Good one. Everybody has done, or somebody is remaining. Okay. Now the thing comes that
Sir,
what
the
is.
previous slide. Yeah, the previous one. Yes.
Have you written?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, the pretty obvious thing is that you are unaware of few terms. What I have written over there. One is comparison. You are unaware from this. One is linear and non-linear comparison. You are also unaware of this. One is what is internal and external. You are also unaware of this. All right. These are few terms by which you are unaware. So how many students, by the way, today? Only 27 students. Okay. You are unaware of these things. So now what we should do? Check it carefully. Let's start understanding what is this comparison. Okay. The number one term, this comparison. And I'm going to explain you this comparison. Okay. Now understand this thing. Let us say that I have a language A star B star. I hope everybody understands. Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of A star B star?
We can have any number of A and B. Even
Any
none is
number
allowed.
of A followed by any number of B. Okay, that's what the meaning. Now, if you check carefully, that does number of B is depending on number of A?
No.
It's quite clear that they are not dependent on number of A as well as for number of A also. So number of A, how many A wants to come, that is totally irrelevant of the thing that how many B's are coming. And how many B's are coming, that is also totally irrelevant of the thing that how many A's are coming. So what you can say that since these two are independent, so there is no comparison. That means I don't have to compare number of A with number of B. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But in spite of this, if I have written this statement, A power n, B power n, what it says, can you explain? A power n, B power n does mean what?
Number of A and B will be equal.
Quite evident. Okay. So number of A and number of B should be equal to each other. Now in that case, what happens? That you have to compare number of A with number of B, because how many B's will come, that depends on how many A are coming. So do you have to compare or not?
Yes, we
Well,
have to.
You have to compare. So this thing is called comparison. But remember, this comparison is not only in the form of equal to, because what you may have A power n, B power n minus 1. This is also comparison. Yes or no?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Although they are not same, but again you have to compare that whether number of B came is just one less than number of A or not. Is that clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So the comparison is like this. Now the point is, what is this linear and non-linear comparison? So linear comparison is where degree of linear and non-linear. So linear comparison is the comparison where degree of comparison is at most 1, like we are doing here. Number of A, this A power n itself, this total A power A represents what? Number of A. So number of A are directly compared with number of B. But what will happen in spite of this if I write this? A power n. This A power n whole term represents what? Number of A. And this B power n whole term represents what? Number of B. So here I am not comparing number of A and number of B directly. First I am doing square for number of A. Yes or no? So number of squares of number of A is being compared with the cube of number of B. So this is something where the degree of comparison goes more than 1. Here the degree goes 2 and here the degree goes 3. So this kind of comparison is called non-linear comparison. Is that clear to everyone?
So
Yes,
A
sir.
to the power, sir, A to the power n and B to the power 2n. Is it non-linear?
It is linear because degree of comparison, you said A to the power n and B to the power 2n. What is the degree to n? 2n power 1 and this is n power 1. So this is again 1.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got it. Got it.
Okay, got it? It should not be 1. It should be square. Then it goes for non-linear comparison.
Sir,
Yes.
this question have degree 3, right? The example you gave.
Just now, what has been over there on this slide? This has degree 3.
Yes,
The
sir.
largest degree is 3, definitely.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, the two more terms with which you are still unaware, that is, what is this internal and external? Okay. So let me tell you these two terms. What is this internal and external? Basically, what happens, this internal, see, linear and non-linear, these are two different types of comparisons. Got it? These are two different types of comparisons. But internal and external, they are not different types of comparisons. Rather, they are two different ways to write the comparison. So for example, the example what we have just taken before and this one also. Okay, this is what internal comparison. Can you see this? This is called internal comparison. Now what is external comparison? Let me tell you this. If I have written a power n, b power m, now if you just look at this language, if you don't see any other thing, if you look at only this part which I am enclosing in the box, then do you really think so that number of a is being compared with number of b?
No.
A clear answer is no. Number of a is never compared in number of b if you see only this part. Okay, but if you if you see the part from this place, so just by looking at it you will find out that yes, we are comparing number of a and number of b. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Everyone is clear for this? Here you can say that yes, we are comparing number of a with number of b. Clear? Now the point is, this type of way to write is called external comparison. Comparison is same. It is not linear, non-linear. Both are linear. Internal is also linear. External is also linear. Not only this, non-linear can also be written like this. Non-linear can also be written in two ways, internal and external. So what we are understanding, that internal external are not two different types of comparisons, rather they are two different ways to write the comparisons. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Fine. If anybody is having any doubt in this, you can ask me. And meanwhile, I want you people to write this thing also on your note sheets. So again, I will wait for 1 minute for every slide. Right now it is 10:33. You can start writing content of this slide. Start it right now. In the meanwhile itself, if you have doubt, you can ask me.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
I have a question on nonlinear.
yes, ask me.
Yes, sir. Here, the question as a power of n is a whole 2 means as a power of 10, right?
Pardon?
As a power of n is a whole square. That means as a power of 2n.
Is a power of 10. 10, how 10?
2n, not 10.
Yes, yes,
2n,
yes.
2 times n.
No, no. Basically, don't consider it like this. It is the power to n or what. Just consider it like this, that finally, if number of a is being directly compared with number of b, then it is linear. But if you have to do square or cube of number of a, or if you have to do square or cube of number of b, then it goes to non-linear. If you will think in this way, then it will be easy to find out.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other thing you want to ask?
It's clear, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Fine. People who are writing this, you can keep on writing this. Everybody have written? Yes or no? Fine. Move to this. Write this one.
Sir wants the first slide. Done, done.
Done with this? Fine. Move to the next one.
Sir, I wrote a question.
All the students, please wait. Okay, just wait for a minute.
Sir, I wrote a question.
All the students, please wait. Give me a 1 minute. I will just listen to you. Everybody, please wait. Yeah, now tell me what you were saying. Somebody was saying something. Sir, I have written this question or something like that. Guys, are you available? I'm asking. Some girl was saying something. Sir, I have written this question or something like that.
In chat box, sir.
Okay. So have everybody written this?
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Good one. Sunil sir has just informed me that I will be continuing his lecture of 10:40. Okay. So he has transferred me the ownership also. So the thing is that you don't have to change your link. Whatever was the link for Sunil sir's lecture. Sunil sir takes which subject? MFP, right?
Yes, sir.
So whatever the link was there for Sunil sir's subject, on that same link you will be joining. I will also be joining, but we will be continuing with TFL. Okay. He has just informed me. That's why I asked you to wait for 1 minute. So he has just informed me now. Okay, so we are going to continue this lecture 10:40 by Sunil Lavadia sir lecture. Okay, fine. As if now everybody please put your attendance into the chat box quick. Put your attendance into the chat box. Be
So
quick
we
enough.
will have the 3 p.m. lecture.
Yes, definitely we will have.
Okay.
We have to cover the syllabus here. We need some extra lectures. And the enthusiasm what I can see in you people now, if you would have shown this for last long time or from the beginning, then things would have been different. Ahmad Daud, why you have written two roll numbers, dear? Ahmad Daud, why you
So
have
I
written
think
two roll numbers?
he is in class with Genito.
Nobody is allowed to enter into the class at the time of attendance. How can you ask your attendance? You have not taken this whole class and now you are asking for the attendance.
Sir, she was already and she's the student who asked the question.
Okay, okay, okay. Ask her to join. I will allow her.
Okay, 1 minute.
Fine. All people have written their attendance. Have everybody written the attendance? Shall I close the class?
No, sir. Wait, please.
Put
Sir,
your attendance. That's okay. That's okay.
sir,
Put
it's
your
my
attendance.
connection. It went off.
No
Sorry.
problem. No problem. Don't worry.
I
Put
even
your
asked the
attendance.
question. I even asked the
We are,
question.
don't worry. We are going to continue the 10:40 lecture. So Neil sir has just informed me. You can ask your question within that lecture. No problem. First, put your attendance
Okay, okay.
and join
Okay,
join
thank
your
you.
regular 10:40 SPL lecture. I will be continuing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. I'm ending up the class. I hope everybody must have written the attendance.